Okay, we're back with another one. This is a good one. This has been a long time in the works, and hopefully you can come along on the journey with me for this one. This is the local club is running one of the guys at the club has set this up. A huge thanks to Tom for everything that he's done to set this up. He's put a lot of work in. I'll show you the campaign pack that we've got in a minute. I'll run through it really quickly and you'll see how much stuff's in there. And I think he's basically from the ground up built this. But yeah, so we're doing a campaign. I'm not sure how many of us are in the campaign. It's quite a lot of us. It's more than 10. I think it's about 15 people doing this campaign. And the idea is we're going to be playing, over the course of 8 weeks, we have to play at least 4 games. And then at the end of that cycle, a bunch of campaign stuff happens where we'll see who's on the map, who's doing what. And then we're going to do this for 3 cycles, and at the end we'll have an overall winner, I think. But yesterday Tom set up, again, thanks to Tom for this, he set up at one of the local venues, he set up a campaign kick-off day. So we all got to go and play a few games over the course of a day. I only got 2 games in. I think 3 was what most people were doing. But a couple of us only got 2. Just because we were stood around talking between games. There was no rush to get these games done. There's no rush to get 3 games done. So, yeah, my first game was against Bretonnians. I seem to be playing Bretonnians a lot. A lot of people seem to be running Bretonnians. Very popular army. But yeah, I was playing against Max, and so let me just quickly let me see what's my next slide. So this was my list. We were playing 1500 points. Now my list doesn't really make any sense. You're going to look at that and you're going to be like, you can't take Doomseekers, you can't take Slayers as core. But the reason for this is we've got some named characters. We have 5 in total, and I used 2 of them in this battle. So my Demon Slayer, Slayer King, Brogar Grimax. You can read this, I'm not going to read it out. But anyway, he allows, in the same way that Ungrim allows, he allows me to take Slayers as core. You can replace his Hatred Orc and comes with Hatred Chaos. And I can take Doomseekers 0-3 per 1,000 points as a special choice. So that's really cool. I've also got Dromley Runehand, who is my... she's just a runesmith. But she has the ability... She gets magical attacks on her hand without any runes on it. But she also has the ability to cast a spell per turn. So she can either cast Earthen Ramparts or the Summoning. But if I miscast with it, I automatically suffer a Dimensional Cascade. Because she's not very good at magic. She's dabbling in it. The other runesmiths and rune lords have said, if you keep down this path, you're going to end up in the dark place. Chaos wastes. You become a chaos dwarf. But let's not dwell on that too much. You can pause the video and read through this if you like. So yeah, so this allows me to take Slayers as my core. So my list is a Demon Slayer, Brogar Grimax, with additional hand weapon and a great weapon, depending on what I'm fighting. The Master Rune of Alric the Mad, which I put on his hand weapon. Rune of Might, which goes on his great weapon. Rune of Passage. A Rune of Wrath, which also goes on his great weapon. And the Rune of the Dishonored. So he's not worth any victory point at the end if he gets killed. So I'm just going to be running him forward, trying to get him killed. And then my Runesmith just has a Rune Spell Breaking. Nothing else. Full plate, shield, great weapon, all the good stuff. Then I've got 14 Quarrelers, full command, hand weapon, great weapons and shields. And then I think that was 21 Slayers. I think this is total 21 Slayers. Yeah. So 14 Troll Slayers with great weapons, hand weapons. And then 5 Giant Slayers with great weapons. And then I had the Rune of Battle in there as well. And a Musician. And then 3 Doomseekers. These are all basically the same. One of them's got 2 runes of speed, one of them's got 1 rune of speed. Other than that, they've all got Rune of Might and Rune of Wrath. And then a Dwarf Cart to make everything faster, and then I had 100 points. Oh no, then my Goblin Hewer. the core of my army theme is Slayers. That's why I've got the Goblin Hewer. That's why I wanted to take Slayers as core. And that's why I've got the 3 Doomseekers. The Dwarf cart is going to have a Slayer on top of it. Eventually, once I go around to modelling it. And then the Grudge Tower, just because I had 100 points left over. I could have put, you can see, I could have put a rune in it, but I forgot. So, yeah, like I said, Brogar Grimax. Okay, we were fighting in this is my territory, Khazid Urbaz. Again, you can read through this again if you want. Pause the video. But basically, if there's a dwarf army and Bretonnians are fighting each other, is that this place? Oh no, we weren't fighting here. This is the wrong place. Let me find out where we were fighting. So this is the map. Can I zoom in on this? Yeah, I can. Look at it. Oop. So this is my home, my hold, over here. We were fighting just below that in this forest region down here. Let me see if I can find it. So there's a bunch of stuff for upgrading characters and things at the end of battles. I'll go through that at the end of the battle though. We were fighting in Karnos Forest West. This is where we were fighting, which is another one of my territories. So Max, the Bretonnia player, was the attacker, and I was the defender. Dwarven Mountain Halls player and a Wood Elf Range player, or a Kingdom Bretonnia player with an alliance with Wood Elves, which he does have. You'll see that in a minute in his list. We both gain the Furious Charge and Hatred all enemies fish rule. Oh, brilliant. So not only am I a bunch of Naked Slayers, movement 3, movement 4 with the Dwarf card, my opponent now has Furious Charge as well, and Hatred. Great, it's not like he's going to be charging me all the time. I'm definitely going to get all these charges in, aren't I? Anyway, so yeah, this is, again, pause it if you want, run through it. But this is my home, so I can do some things with I can make a different type of list. So I can use Grand Army and use some of the things from Royal Clans, which is cool. This is Max's list. I couldn't quite fit this all on one page. It's a bit blurry, but that's okay. We'll go through it. So he had a Duke, hand weapon, heavy armor, shield, Royal Pegasus, Virtue of Heroism, and a lance. Let me see. Oh, so this is his special characters that he was using in the battle. So his Duke, it lets him use a couple of different things, like Grail Knights, a core, and things like that. And he gains Furious Charge on the unit he's leading. Right, I think, yeah, and Hatred Beastmen. And then he also had the Prophetess. She gains +1 to cast in a spell when she's wholly within a natural terrain feature or within 3 inches of a friendly unit taken by Wood Elf realms as allies. So she's basically level 5. So, again, I've got a level 2 Dispel, I think, with my Runesmith. I do have a spell scroll, so it's only 18-inch range, though, so that's going to be pretty rough. Anyway, she had Battle Magic. And then he had 29 men at arms, shield, full command, 10 Knights of the Realm, full command. Then he had 3 Pegasus Knights, no command, 5 Grey Knights, a Grail Guardian, and a Standard Bearer with the War Banner. And then this was his Wood Elf contingent. So normally I think Wood Elves and Bretonnians are suspicious allies, but in the campaign they are just allies. They're not even uneasy, they're just normal allies. So he had a Glade Captain with Longbow, Harpin, on a Elven Steed with a great weapon and some Hagbane tips. Very nice. And then a Deepwood Scouts, Hagbane, and then 5 Glade Guard with Hagbane. Okay, cool. So, this is our deployment. We were playing, I can't remember what it's called. The battle that, it's like a diagonal deployment, and you roll a dice for every unit. I don't know, 1, they start off the table. This was my suggestion, because I was like, if I get, I was like, I'm going to be fighting an uphill battle here. All your army's like so much faster than mine. You've got Pegasus, you've got Grail Knight, you've got a Duke, you've got a level 5 caster. I've just got some Slayers, mostly. So this is going to be a tough battle for me. So I was like, oh, let's play this one. And maybe his Pegasus Knights will come off the table. If I can get one of his units off the table to start off with, that's going to help me massively. Anyway, none of his units sat off the table. 2 of mine did. So that made it even harder for me. So that was my own fault. But anyway. So yeah, let's see what his deployment is. He basically just like castled up all his knights and stuff as far forward as he could really. So his Pegasus goes here. This is his Glade Captain. Oh, sorry. I think his unit of Deepwood Scouts, his Deepwood Scouts were off the table. Let me just get a quick drink of coffee. This was his big brick of his bus of 10 Knights of the Realm. And then these are Grail Knights, right? Yeah, Grail Knights are over here. Then there's Dukes in the middle. And then he's never used Wood Elves before. And I didn't know what these were. I thought these might have been Deepwood Scouts, but these were actually his Glade Guard. So they shouldn't be in skirmish formation. They should be in close order or open order, whatever it is. But neither of us realised, and it didn't make any difference, really. We realised later on, we pushed them together. And then his big block of men-at-arms, and then you can see here is his wizard. The spells that he got the Bretonnian regen spell, I think he picked. He got Pillar of Fire. What else did he get? Oaken Shield. And I don't remember what the other spell was. It wasn't Fireball though. It wasn't impactful, whatever it was. So yeah. So then moving on to my deployment. I was pretty outnumbered here. I was feeling pretty vulnerable. So I was just like, I'm gonna turtle up, I'm gonna wait for him to come to me, and then I'm gonna smash him. That was the plan. Counter charge. That's all I've got. Use my quarrelers as bait. Counter charge. As you see here, my quarrelers are on this hill. I've got my runesmith in the front corner here. She is just in range of the wizard over here. Just in 18 at the minute. And then it's my Demon Slayer and my 2 of my Doomseekers. My other Doomseeker is off the table, and so is my Dwarf Cart. So that's upsetting. And then my unit of Slayers, my Goblin Hue is behind these guys, because once they move forward with their Vanguard, he'll be able to see. And then my Grudge Thrower is just behind the hill, so when it pivots, it will be on the hill. It'll still be behind these guys. So it's still going to be firing directly at the minute, but later turn, if I ever move these off, I can just pivot him onto the hill, and he'll be able to fire directly. That's the thinking, anyway. So, my first turn, I do Vanguard them forward. 3 inches. So fast. So we started 12 inches away. I Vanguarded 3 inches forward. We're now 9 inches away. My Slayer has moved through cover as well. So we're 9 inches away. Which means I can charge with my Slayer, my Demon Slayer, and I can charge with these 2. These 2 are more likely to make it because they've got like Dwarf Swift Stride. So I do declare a charge with these 3 because he prayed to the lady, so I went first. So he declared the charges. That's the wrong picture. Oh my gosh. I don't know where my pictures are in the wrong order. Oh, well, we'll just go through it. We'll see. Have I done something wrong here? Let me just quickly check. Yeah, I must have missed taking some pictures here. It's okay. As you can see, so I ran into them. I got both these 2 in. One of them didn't make it. I think I rolled really low with him. But yeah, I won combat by quite a bit. This guy just chopped them up. I rolled quite high on his 2d3 attacks. With his Furious Charge, where I got an extra attack there. And then Rune of Wrath, I think, gives him an extra attack. And so yeah, he had quite a lot of attacks. My Runesmith, my Demon Slayer used his additional hand weapon instead of a great weapon. I think the Grail Monk challenged him. And I think I did maximum wounds to him. And then this guy chopped a bunch of them up. And so they fell back in good order. So I followed them. And then all my shooting went into these Grail Knights, and I killed, 3 of them? So it's not bad. Nothing else happened on my turn. I didn't get any spells off. I didn't do anything else. So this was the only thing of significance that happened. Yeah, so this is it. I just killed 3 of these Grey Knights. I think this was from my Goblin Hewer and from the Quarrelers. A combination of those. I think the Grudge Thrower misfired on this turn as well. And I rolled a 6 on the misfire result. So it can fire next turn. So, Max's turn 1. He aggressively moves forward. He put these guys, he was measuring and umming and ahhing, measuring and measuring. And he put these guys so they were outside of the charge range of my Quarrelers. But then he brought these guys into the flank. And this was about 5 or 6 inches away. So he didn't expect me to make this charge. So he was like, if they do make the charge, you'll probably only get 1 or 2 of them in anyway. So he felt safe doing this. Because the Pegasus can flee as well if they needed to. But, I mean, we're both pretty certain that the Pegasus can beat the Quarrelers in a fight if this charge does happen anyway. So he just moved these guys up just outside of 10, so I couldn't declare a charge there. It's 10 because the Dwarf Cart would give them +1 to their movement, so their charge range increases by 1. Oh yeah, you can see here my miscast. My misfire. I lost a Dwarf, but I can fire next turn. So then he moves the Duke up behind them, and again this big bus of knights is just outside of the 10, I think. The wizard, where did she go? Is this on this picture? Oh no, you can see she's moved over. She just moved out of 18 of my Runesmith, so she could cast some spells, and this is a Pillar of Fire. So she casts a pillar, move over, cast Pillar of Fire, left. I think these knights also have regen on them. Because even though she's level 5 and I'm only level 2, I do have a spell scroll. A rune of spell breaking, so. And then this carnage continues. There was no challenges issued. Great. So I just put both of my guys' attacks into them because they felt like in good order. I counted as charging again for Furious Charge and for my impact hits and things. So just did a load of wounds. Loads and loads of wounds. And I think they used Stubborn to fall back in good order again. I chose to follow up with my Doomseeker. But I tried to... I took restrained with my Demon Slayer. Because I'm going to go after this wizard. That's the plan. The wizard leaves or whatever next turn. Then I'm going to go after these elves in the forest. Look at this. Some beautiful NMM there. Really nicely painted, Max. Really nice. Zoom in a bit. Whoa. Beautiful. What's this? Oh, she's got Oaken Shield on her. Nice. I forgot she'd cast that. Okay. So I did declare a charge on my turn. And she fled. And I think I failed my redirect. Or maybe I tried to follow her. She's fleeing. Oh, this is a bit later on because this is my shooting phase. So I did some of the things earlier. So I did declare a charge here into these Pegasus with my Quarrelers. Because I was like, if I'm standing here, if I'm going to do some shooting, I'm not going to do very much damage, I don't think, and then I'm going to get charged next turn. So I'm going to charge into these. If he flees, I can redirect into the Duke, or I can pursue them and overrun into the, not pursue them, like overrun into the Duke. Redirect, because he was also just in range of my charge. So Max thought about this. He elected to hold with the Pegasus here. There was no other charges except my Demon Slayer into the Prophetess, but she fled. This is going to be hard to see, but hang on. Let's see. So this is where she charged. I charged here, and she fled. She ended up about where my mouse is. I'm sorry, I was not very good at taking pictures here. She ended up about here. So then, shooting phase. I'm in combat here. My grudge thrower, I think my goblin hewer fired at these guys and didn't do anything. I fired my grudge thrower. Scattered. Big scatter. I was on the hill this time, and my quarrelers were not on the hill anymore, so I did have a direct shot. So I minus my ballistic skill. Where's the picture? There we go. It scattered over, and it landed right on top of where where she was, where she'd fled to. Killed her. Unbelievable. I mean, I aimed that shot. That was perfection. So she died. She got a rock in the face. Unfortunate for her. So I won this combat with my quarrelers. I went in here. I don't think anybody did any wounds. I think we just slapped each other. No one did any wounds. I don't know what happened. I got 5 wounds through onto them with my great weapons. With Furious Charge and stuff. I only got 1 or 2 of them in base contact. But I still had like 10 attacks, I think, from the unit. And I think I got 5 wounds through because of Hatred. Max saved all of them on his ward saves. Arm saves and ward saves. Saved all of them. Didn't fail any. Didn't take any wounds. But then he fell back in good order from the combat. And so because of the angle that I'd had to swing around to actually make contact with him on the charge, I actually ended up touching. I thought I was going to pursue and overrun into the Duke when I followed the unit. But I ended up actually, because they fled this way a little bit, I actually ended up just hitting the very front of this big lance of knights. Max even said after this, he was like, this was a mistake having everything so bunched up together like this, because like if something gets charged and then overran, then everything's getting touched, and so it's just a bit of a mess here. So yeah, so I ended up touching the front of the lance, which blunted the lance and brought them into combat. It also meant I was, I think, like 1.5 inches away from this guy, so he didn't get Furious Charge when he charged in. This guy only got 1 inch for his initiative as well into here. Same with these guys. Because I overran, I was charging again, so I also get my Furious Charge and my initiative bonus. And it's a new round of combat with new guys and stuff, so everyone gets Hatred again. I also have Stubborn because of the Runesmith. So I'm not too worried about this. Like I'm probably gonna lose this combat because the Duke's gonna come in and just chop a few up. This guy's got a great weapon. These Grail Knights can come in. A bunch of these gonna get to attack. But I have Stubborn, so I can probably hold. And then my Slayers are just off. I did move my Slayers up. Oh, this guy chopped up the last. Yeah, you can see my Slayers here are just here, so they're ready to come up and come into the fight. I guess I didn't get any pictures of what happened next. So anyway, on Max's turn, did I get a picture of this? Yeah, so this is what happened. This is Max's turn 2, 3, 2, 3. I'm not sure. So my Slayers moved up in my previous turn, like I said, to position after this charge, to position ready to like come in and help out whatever was needed over here. On Max's turn, he charged with the Pegasus into my Grudge Thrower, so I held. He didn't roll high enough to get any of them further forward. I think it was like a 16-inch charge or something, and I think a 17-inch charge, a 16-inch charge. I think he rolled a 17, so only the front one could get into base to base. The other ones just had to fall behind. They didn't have enough movement to get in. The Grail Knights declared a charge into my Goblin Hewer and failed the charge. The Duke charged into my Quarrelers, and the Glade Lord, whatever he's called, the Wood Elf, charged into the flank of my Quarrelers as well. And in the previous combat phase, I killed the last of this guy here. So yeah. So also in my turn 2, you can see my Dwarf Cart came on and just moved up, and then my other Doomseeker also came on and moved up. So yeah, Max, I think, is hoping to just kill this, run off the table, and then his next turn come on and cause mayhem with these Pegasus. So this combat, what happened? Yeah, these guys failed their charge. I think they had the, what's that? The there's like the regen on them. Just another angle of everything that's happening. Oh, he also moved up his wood elves here. See, we've put them in a, we've closed them up here because we realised that they weren't in skirmish. So he's moved them up to just block the Slayers from swinging around and charging the Grail Knights. Yeah, just a bit of smart positioning here, so I can't get into the Grail Knight's flank, just smash them and then come through here. So the Pegasus did in fact kill the Grudge Thrower, and then on their Swift Stride Pursue roll, they rolled a total of 4 inches. They rolled 2 1s and a 2. So they didn't go off the table, and they are now at the mercy of this Doomseeker. Uh-oh. Poor Pegasus. Okay. Bit of a spoiler there. Let's see what happens in this combat. So the Duke basically whiffs all of his attacks. Didn't kill very many of my Quarrelers. Let's see how many he got. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He killed 4 of them. 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, 3 or 4 of them. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 of them. I think 4 of them. And that's all he did. Because of my initiative, even though I'm using Great Weapons as one, I go to initiative 4 because of my 3-inch charge. This Wood Elf is using also a Great Weapon. So he's initiative 1, got +1 for his flank for the 1-inch charge that he got, so initiative 2. +1 for his Elven Reflexes, or whatever it's called, so he's initiative 3. So he's going after my Dwarfs. So I just put these 2 guys into him with their Great Weapons. And with Furious Charge, because they're in the fighting rank, they get 2 attacks. So I killed that guy before he got to attack. And then I put all of the rest of them into the Knights of the Realm. How many did I get? So how many? There was 10 of them. 7. So I killed 3 of them. So I won combat by quite a bit. I think his champion maybe attacked, or maybe he should declare a challenge. That's what happened. He declared a challenge with him, and I accepted with my champion. My champion killed his guy, and then the rest of them put wounds in and killed another 2 of them. So yeah, I won combat. Nobody fled because I wasn't outnumbering anybody, but they all fell back in good order. And we're now going into my turn 3. Oh, this fight's still going, and there was 1 guy left. Max thought that he'd ran away, that I'd run him down, but because I didn't outnumber him, I think he had actually just fallen back in good order. And so this fight was still going on. So this is the overview of the table at the beginning of my turn 3. I had actually killed this guy now. So my plan for this turn is obviously charge here, get these guys. I wasn't sure what to do with these because I did reform them. I wasn't sure whether I was going to... This isn't quite where they ended up at the end of my turn. Because I was umming and ahhing. I spun them around a few times. I was like, should I charge the flank of these? Should I charge into there? Should I turn them around and charge the back of these maybe to try and make them flee off the table? Or just charge into their rear? But yeah, as you can see, I reformed them a little bit, and I decided to charge into the Knights of the Realm. Just to keep pursuing them, just to keep harassing them. I thought maybe if I charge into them, I can kill a few more of them. I did quite well with them last time, so maybe I can run them off the table or something. The Grail Knights aren't going to be too much of a problem, because I can get a Doomseeker into them. Not Doomseeker, the Slayer behind is coming this way. He can come and help out. So my other Doomseeker up here is just moving around the back of this rock. I'm going to go after these guys. My dwarf cart turned around in the moving phase, so I declared a charge here, and that was my and here. These guys elected to flee from this guy because they thought their life was in danger. I don't blame them. In hindsight, I should have declared a charge with my Goblin Hewer against these as well, I think. Because then if they would have fled from the Goblin Hewer, I think. If they chose to flee, and that would have given this guy the opportunity to catch them. Run them down. But I didn't do that. I just declared with this guy. So they chose to flee. And this here is 12 inches. Which is my maximum charge range with my Dwarf Swift Stride. So I tried to redirect. I rolled the leash test. Passed. Made the charge. I made a lot of very long bomb charges in this game. A lot. My dwarves had their Nikes on for sure. Charge here. So I only killed 2 of them here. Did I lose any guys? 1, 2, 5 there. Yeah, so I lost 1 guy and they lost 2. So again, I won combat. My Doomseeker killed the Grail Knights. My Slayers obviously killed the Glade Guard. I turned the Goblin Hewer around and shot at the Pegasus. Killed 1 and did a wound to another. What happened here? I think the Pegasus rallied. On their turn. Moved over here. I think is the Duke. Where did the Duke come from? Let's have a look. He's over here. He's just moved over to do some damage, I think. I killed these guys, they fled, and then again I wasn't sure what to do. I wasn't sure whether I should turn around to shoot at this stuff, or if I should keep shooting it. But I thought the Pegasus probably won more points. I could send these guys in this direction. If they're fleeing, which they were fleeing, just keep running them off the table, hopefully. Was my thinking. So yeah, as you can see, these guys are fleeing. My guy is, I haven't moved him yet, but he moves up around this rock. He's over here. He ends up about here from where he's moving from. Marched up to there. So all my shooting from here and the Goblin Hewer shoot into the Pegasus and I kill them. These guys continue to flee. Then the Duke charges into my Goblin Hewer, kills it. Oh, you can see here. Look. So he ended up about here. And then I made another 12-inch charge into these guys. I think it might be an 11-inch charge. I made another 11 or 12-inch charge into those guys. Wiped them out and then overran. He's standing on the edge of this hill. But he's just fallen off. If I'd had one more... This is my turn 6, I think. If I'd had one more turn, these guys were toast. Max's turn 6. He charges into my Dwarf Cart. Kills that. Nothing I can do about that. And that is the end of the battle. Ignore my terrible handwriting. But this was the final score at the end of the battle. Dwarf victory. And then for all my units that were above 50% sign strength, including characters, I get to roll on the veterancy table. And see what they get. So, let's see what that looks like. Is this veterancy? Unit veterancy. Okay. So yeah, as you can see on that previous, I'll just go through them. My cart got, and my cart didn't survive, sorry. My unit of Slayers got Cleaving Blow. I rolled a 6 for those guys. Brilliant. My Demon Slayer got Cleaving Blow as well. My Doomseeker number 1, they've got numbers on the basis, so I know which one's got which runes. Got +1 weapon skill. Where's that? Here. 1 weapon skill. I was tempted by the Blizzard skill, but, you know, I thought the rune skill might be more useful. The other surviving Demon Slayer got Cleaving Blow. And then my Runesmith got Unbreakable. Rolled a 3. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure if I put her in a unit that confers the unbreakable to the unit or not. I'll have to look into that. And then my quarrelers got stubborn. So even when she's not with them, if she dies, they keep stubborn. So yeah, that was how the battle ended. Let's go back. This was the end of the battle. It was a good game, a very fun game. We joked about how this dwarf started over here and went all the way around here and ended up over here. He's running shoes on for sure. We talked about it afterwards, and Max agreed. The one thing that definitely turned the course of this battle was putting those Pegasus Knights too close. There was just no need for it. If he'd have just left them outside of my charge range, or on his next turn, he would have just charged into me with like basically everything and just won the game. I would have just lost because he did just smash me to bits. So yeah, it was just a positional thing. But yeah, it was a really good game, really fun, and I gained a new territory. I took over another mountain hold somewhere. I can't remember which one. But I'll get into it in the next battle report because I did play 2 games, like I said, so that'll be coming out soon. But yeah, the dwarfs are marching, taking over the old world. If you like this battle report, if you're still here, if you have any questions about the campaign, if you'd like me to do a video going through the actual campaign rules and things like that, then I am happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments. If you could give me a subscribe if you're not already, give me a like or a dislike. Give me a comment saying your dwarfs are stupid and they stink. Sure, I'll take it. Hopefully this video won't be too quiet for those people saying I'm too quiet. Yeah, anyway, see ya.